The final revelation of God. God has never revealed the following to man. It is only now being revealed because we are entering the final days of the creation. God's love for his people is why the truth is now being revealed to those that will listen. It has been kept from the creation so people could live the life they chose without worry. God assumed the burden for all. Here is the story of how we ended up in the final days. In a time before the earth was created, God the Father created two sons. Each had distinct personality traits taken from his own personality. One son represented one part of him, and the other son represented the other part of him. They were equally loved and cared for by God the Father. Over time, one son began to withdraw from everyone in the first heaven, becoming isolated. Eventually, with the passage of time, the other son became favored by everyone. He was well liked and treated everyone with love and compassion. The withdrawn son began to resent how well his brother was received by everyone. This resentfulness evolved into the jealousy of his brother and everyone in heaven who liked him. Over time, this jealousy grew into something that had never existed before: hatred. The hateful brother believed he could rule over the first heaven better than his father. He began a campaign to recruit followers, offering them positions of power and prestige if they joined him in overthrowing his father and taking control of the first heaven. This brother, now filled with hatred, launched an attack against his father and heaven, resulting in their father's death because he could not cause harm to his own son, even in self-defense. But before dying, God the Father passed the throne and his power to the son who was loved by heaven and told him, "You have to stop your brother, or he will destroy everything and kill everyone who ever existed." The hateful brother burned with anger that the beloved brother had received the throne instead of him. God, the Son loved by all, knew he could not kill his brother Satan. He was incapable of such malevolent acts, so he devised a plan to trap Satan with love and kindness. God created a second heaven, much different from the first. It was made of solid mass one could not pass through easily. Once the second heaven was created, God inserted himself into it and created life. He invited Satan in, saying, "Come, Satan, look at what I have made. Return to me, and we can start over with a new life together, sharing love with one another." It was a genuine request from a loving God. Satan grew furious that God had created another heaven and was driven by hatred to destroy it. He would not allow God to enjoy his new creation after having the throne stolen from him. Satan entered the second heaven, earth, to find and destroy God, but it was too difficult to traverse and be everywhere at once. He called his army of fallen angels to help destroy the new heaven. It took a long time for Satan's entire army to fully enter the new heaven. Once Satan and his entire army entered the creation, God removed his power from it and closed all the exits, trapping himself inside with Satan and his demons. This was the only way to contain Satan and prevent him from destroying everything that ever existed. Satan and his fallen angels were furious when they realized what had happened. They vowed to stop at nothing to kill God and everything he had created. God then created a third heaven, a place where people who chose God in the second heaven could live in love for all eternity. This remains the case until the destruction of the second heaven. All people who choose God are removed from the earth upon the death of the body and live forever in a heaven without suffering or evil. Conversely, those who choose Satan are expelled from the earth and held in hell until the final judgment, which shall result in death for all who dwell in darkness.